Hi there, Dr. Karen here with another edition of the Spiritual Medicine Digest. Now I'm going to attempt to make this video a little shorter than my others because I am so super busy preparing for the Unlock Your Superpowers launch on October 18th, 2017. So mark your calendars. That's when the interview is going to be with From Heartache to Joy when I open up this program. And so I sometimes it actually takes longer to make a short video. Anyway, so I hope you guys are doing well with the Ascension. You know, the cool thing is we only had a few days of Ascension resistance before we got into the Ascension Integration phase. So that's good news, meaning that we had a lot less entities to deal with, and it was only for a few days, so that has been really awesome. Now the Ascension Integration, just to remind you in case you haven't watched any of my other videos or you need a reminder, is whereby the Ascension energies that we've been exposed to now need to integrate into our system, so you can always check how well are the Ascension energies integrating physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, energetically, dimensionally. And fascinatingly enough, you can actually check within the physical realm. You know, are there any parts of my physical body that aren't grounding and integrating the Ascension energies as well as others, or I would say at least 95% happy. Like, for example, you might find like there's one gland or one type of cell in your body that just can't figure out how to do it, you know? And if that's the case, a lot of times if you need to know more, then you can pull out your handy dandy Topocan healing guides if you're part of the Light Warrior Advanced Healing Program, and you can figure out what it is you need to make a correction for in order for that particular cell or that gland or, you know, that organ to be able to integrate the Ascension with ease and with grace. But a lot of times you don't need to know. As soon as you figure out, oh wow, for example, my vagus nerve, isn't integrating the Ascension well, but everyone else is in the body, then you can just go ahead and do a Topocan healing directive to help the vagus nerve fully integrate and ground all the Ascension energies. So speaking of directives, in my upcoming package, Unlock Your Superpowers, the 7 R's formula for masterful manifesting, I have decided that because a lot of people want this, and I wasn't at first thinking that it was such a big deal, but people keep asking for this, I'm actually going to create a document for you in our, I believe it's going to be in package B, currently called the Topocan Healing Top 20 Directives. So in those, I'm actually going to type out for you the actual words that I use to do home clearings, to release pain, to create healthy boundaries and things like that. So sometimes I tell people, that you can make up your own stuff, but sometimes people just want to know what I say, so they can kind of repeat it and just make sure they're not forgetting anything. And I'm like, okay, all right, so I'll print these out for you. So we're going to have the top 20 in there, and that's going to be part of what goes into the package B. But I can't give away too much until the launch, but just to let you know, that's one of the cool things that's going to happen. And the other thing I want to just share with you is that, I hear a lot from my Light Warrior students that, when they're having a symptom that they are, clearing and clearing and clearing and clearing. Well, here's the thing. After you've done clearing for a really long time, and some of you have been doing it for decades, you know who you are, myself included, okay? So you've cleared karmic debts, vows, curses, entities, cords, all that kind of stuff. What is left after you clear everything? Well, there is something left, and this is what I want you to think about. Every time something goes awry or something you don't want, don't always think it's about clearing. Okay, sometimes it's about integrating. Sometimes it's about installing new programs, the positive frequencies and morphic fields. That's what Topocan Healing Guide number 2 is about, installing positive frequencies. So let me pull that out for you so you remind you what that looks like. So that's our Topocan Healing Guide number 2, okay? So there are all these positive frequencies, and interestingly, there are a lot of frequencies that are being upgraded as well. So maybe it's not even just the morphic field that's on the guide, maybe it's an upgraded version of that morphic field as well. So don't let your mind get stuck in that I have to clear, this must be bad, I must be have to clear. Maybe it's not bad. Okay? Maybe it's not bad. You're like, how could pain not be bad? But it's a judgment, right? So maybe it's not bad. Maybe it's there to remind you that, hey, maybe I need to check my boundaries. Maybe I'm sensing things. Maybe I'm transmuting energies for other things or people or places. Maybe I have to learn not to think that it's bad all the time. Whatever it is that it's there for. So maybe you can imagine that every symptom is there for your highest good, and then if that's true, then what would it be good for? And be creative on your answers. So that's one of the main things I wanted to share with you today on that. Now, what's coming up? Well, next week on the radio show, we actually have my good friend Kathy Homeyer, and she's going to be talking about light wave, not the light wave patches or the life wave patches, but light wave. So it's a specific program where light wave practitioners can actually download these specific light frequencies to help with various different systems. So we're going to talk about how that works and how it works in her practice, and when she does one-on-ones, how that helps to balance certain symptoms and systems and symptoms, and how that all works. I'm excited about that. And if you missed my block therapy with Deanna Hansen interview last Monday, it is on virtual replay, so you can go to my radio show page, blogtalkradio.com/Dr. Karen, or just go on KarenCan.com and scroll down to the home page. The latest shows are on the home page, and you can listen to that show. And I'm really enjoying my block therapy and lying on the block. I really find it incredibly meditative. And now I've been checking people on their diaphragms, like how happy is their diaphragm, and amazingly many people, they're not happy. I also check how much is their alveoli in their lower lungs able to aerate, and a lot of times it's really low percentage, like who knew, So I think these are some of the things that you can check out, because a lot of times we just aren't breathing properly, and that actually makes a huge difference in our lives. Can you imagine just breathing? We need to work on breathing. So the last thing is, especially for those of you that are super sensitive, we talked before about letting the guide team send Ascension 1 and 2 to all those that you transmute energies to, decreasing your sensitivity to feeling the negative energies of others, even if you are supposed to transmute energies for mass consciousness, for example. The other thing you can check is your reactivity, which is different from your sensitivity. So maybe your sensitivity is less than 1 out of 10, and that's pretty good. You're not that sensitive to their stuff, but your system reacts to it anyway. So you have this huge reactivity, so you can actually make that score out of 10 as well. So go ahead and check if you're super sensitive and you're like, wow, my sensitivity score is under 1, but I'm still having these symptoms. Check your reactivity score out of 10. So 10 meaning the worst, 0 meaning optimal. You don't want to be reactive to these things. So if it is high, you can actually ask your God team if they would be willing and are allowed to turn that down for you to as low as possible on the 10-point scale. Ideally, we want 0 reactivity, right? Some of that negative stuff. It's one thing to sense it and get information, but another thing to react to it. We don't want this knee-jerk reaction of stress every time we're sensing something intuitive. So that's your new tip for this week, and I look forward to speaking with you next week. All right, so remember to join me on the radio show on Monday, and also make sure that you mark out in your calendar October 18th, very special, for my Unlock Your Superpowers program. And Kathy is going to give us a sneak peek into her program too, which launches the day before mine. What a synchronicity. All right, until next week, bye for now.